If you're anything like me, your life looks like this. You oversleep your alarm and skip the gym for the 4th time this week. You look in the mirror and instead of seeing Spider-Man, you just see boring Peter Parker. On the way to work, you doom scroll. And there it is, someone living your dream life. You copy their routine, telling yourself this summer is the one. I'll build a lean physique. I'll hit a handstand coming out of the pool in Bali. I'll finally live the life I see on social media. Day 1 begins. You snap a progress pic, start counting calories, delete social media, and train every single day. You eat chicken and rice, push through every workout, and convince yourself you've spotted a new vein on your shoulder. But then comes the crash. Nobody cares you're doing 75 days hard. The motivation fades. You order Krispy Kreme from Uber Eats. Training every day leaves your body cooked. So you skip one workout, then the other. Guilt kicks in. Why can't I stay consistent? Why do I always fail? You try to lock back in with this insane routine, but then life happens. Work piles up, exams hit, family emergencies drag you away to different countries. Suddenly, you're burnt out, and you're right back where you started. Every failed attempt chips away at your confidence until you're standing at the beach, too afraid to take your shirt off, watching the girls look at the guys you could have been if you never quit. You tell yourself work and studies are the priority, but the truth is, you've traded your life to chase someone else's, to earn money that keeps you stuck in a life you don't want, and you're wasting the years where it matters the most. Each summer you do nothing, the goal drifts further away. Each free start feels harder than the last because all you can think about is the times you failed. Your life isn't slipping away because you're getting older. It's slipping away because you're living less of it. But there's a way out. I'm going to show you 8 stages of your greatest comeback. The roadmap I wish I had when I was skinny and weak, when I broke my ankle and couldn't walk for 3 months, and when I was the heaviest I've ever been. This is how you go from stuck and burnt out to strong, lean, and living the life you actually want. So you too can have the greatest comeback of your life. I call this first stage the wake-up call. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, I don't like the person I am right now and I want to change. I want to improve. When I was 16, I was weak, I was skinny, I had no self-confidence, and I was just sitting in bed one day when I saw a guy called Chris Harry on YouTube doing muscle-ups, and I thought, damn, that's the person that I want to become. He was jacked, he was able to do cool stuff, he was posting on YouTube. He had the life that I wanted. Now, everyone talks about having the biggest comeback of their life, but it'll never really happen because you don't have a really strong why. You really need to understand why you were doing this. Because if you're not waking up every single day with that reason in mind, then everything else is going to fall apart. Now, the second question that you have to ask yourself is, why now? Like, why start now? Why didn't you have a comeback 3 years ago? Why didn't you have a comeback 2 months ago? Why in this specific day do you want to suddenly flip your life around and become this new person? Now, let's just say that you understand why you're doing this and you understand why you're doing it now. The third question you have to ask yourself is, what will you sacrifice? Because you can go ahead and dream about the life that you want, the person that you want to become, but if you're still going to stay in bed and snooze your alarm clock 5 times, if you're not going to get up and go to the gym and just watch anime or play video games, it doesn't matter how strong your why is, nothing is going to change. So now you've knocked off why you're doing this, why now, what will you sacrifice? The last and most final step is taking that first step. You can soak up all the information that you like. You can understand every single aspect of your dream life. But if you don't take that first step, then nothing is going to happen. Stage number 2 is life design. I really want you to picture the person that you want to become. Think about the exact things that they will do in every single part of the day. Now that you've got that, I challenge you to try and live that life. Like, actually try and live that life to the best of your ability. Now, if your dream version is someone that just lounges around on a super yacht every Sunday, then obviously you can't do that, right? So we've got to start small. Grab the parts of your dream version's life. Just take the ones that you can emulate and put it within your own routine. Now, the goal isn't to be perfect. If you have this awesome goal, Don't think of it as like a to-do list. Like, I need to have this yacht. I need to achieve the muscle up. I need to lose this amount of weight. Just try to do exactly what you're doing right now, but just improve 1% better. So if you're only able to do 20 push-ups right now, and your goal is to do 20 handstand push-ups, then just try to get 2 extra push-ups until you can get your first 50, and then progress and progress and progress. The third stage is routine. This one is what most people think about when it comes to making a comeback. They're always trying to find the perfect morning routine, the most optimized training schedule to get the gains that they want. But the real secret to routine is just something that you can repeat again and again and again. About 3 years ago, I had the idea of doing an ice bath every single day as a morning routine. Now, looking back, I'm like, how the hell did I stick to that for 2 weeks? It was crazy, right? A really big misconception is that your routine has to be perfect and optimized. That's not the case, because we follow the 1% rule of trying to improve 1% better each day. And that consistency is what's going to help us get to the place that we want to get to. Now, I'm going to ask you this next question. Have you ever followed a routine and you're just completely burnt out? If that's the case, then it's not because you're lazy or because you don't care about your goals. It's just that you don't have enough repetition. You see, your brain operates through patterns. So if you just continuously do a very simple task, just like waking up at this exact time for as long as you can, then your body will adapt. It will start to just do it automatically. Let's just pick that time and say 8 a.m. 8 a.m., it's not too early. It's also not too late. If you want to start getting to 6 a.m. for a wake up, then you start at 8 a.m. and your body clock adjusts. You'll realize that when you start to wake up, you won't need your alarm clock. You won't need to hit snooze. Your body just automatically responds to it being 8 a.m. Once you've developed that automation, you can then go 1% better. So try going for 750. If 750 works, then use that and keep going down again and again and again. Once you can hit 6 a.m. and this is the ideal life that you want, so you can make the most out of your day, then keep it at 6 a.m. Don't make any changes for a really, really long time. And you'll see your body responding to this very, very well. Building discipline in general isn't about doing the hardest things out there and trying to impress other people. It's just trying to eliminate any type of decision making at all. You want everything just to be on autopilot. So waking up at the exact same time, eating the exact same foods, training at this exact same time, doing the exact same exercises, your body is just going to know what to do. Your mind doesn't have to think at all. When your mind doesn't have to think, then that's when discipline is truly created. Stage 4 is training. I would say that is the most grounded stage when it comes to making your biggest comeback, because it's physical manifestation. You see yourself in the mirror, right? You're doing actual work, and this is how people see you. But I would also say that training is the most simple stage of them all, because it is designed to be repetitive, basic, yet effective. Now, when I first started training, the only thing that I ever did was pull-ups. That was it, because that's what I wanted. I saw Chris Harrier doing muscle-ups, and pull-ups was a progression towards it. So that's what I trained. Pull-ups, pull-ups, pull-ups. Started off with exercises like the inverted row, then moved on to the pull-up hold, pull-up negatives, banded pull-ups. You don't have to complicate things. When people go into the gym and they do stuff like bro splits where they're working out just their arms, or they're doing back day where they're using these weird cable machines like lat pull downs or all these barbell rows, it's not needed, okay? You can barely drag yourself out of bed to do a workout. How are you going to expect yourself to make gains if you're doing all this wacky stuff? So keep it very, very simple. One single bar, one single movement, one goal in mind. And that goal is to get strong. If you look at any aesthetic person that has a lean build, ask them if they've gotten stronger than when they first started and to how they look like right now. The answer is always going to be yes. In order to get an aesthetic physique, you need to develop a significant amount of strength. So if you follow the 1% rule, how do we get to that? Are we going to do all this complicated stuff in the gym where we have to get a PT, get them to go through all the muscle activations, how to do this correctly, how to do that correctly? Are we just going to work towards getting the pull-up from 1 rep to 5 reps to 10 reps? Because you can't tell me that if you go from 1 pull-up to 10 pull-ups, you're not going to achieve the dream body that you want. That's just not going to be the case. Pull-ups are also a compound movement, which means you train multiple muscle groups at once, such as the biceps, the forearms, and the back, the rear delts, which gives you that nice aesthetic V-taper. If you're training multiple things at once, you don't need to go into the gym 5 to 7 times a week. You just need to go 3 times at most. A master blacksmith won't start forging a sword and then change techniques, change hammers, change this, change that. They'll stick with the equipment that they've got, the technique that they've mastered over many years until the sword is forged. So guys, if you're still confused about how to train, what to eat, or how to actually follow a structured plan without burning out, I put it all together in my free ebook, The Aesthetic Athlete's Method. Inside, you'll find the exact training structure and nutrition principles I use to build strength in bodyweight skills, stay lean year-round, and escape the cycle of starting and quitting. Go it below, and it will give you the roadmap you've been missing. Now, this stage is journaling. Now, when you think of journaling, you just think book, pen, and that's it, right? It's for pussies. It's for people that like to write. This can come in many forms. Journaling doesn't just have to be like that. When I first started training and really developing my body and improving, I used social media as a form of journaling. When I'd get an achievement such as like a clapping push-up or a muscle-up, and I'll post it as a story on Instagram, and I'll save that. Now I can look back and it's just like a digital diary for me. This is really, really important because you will eventually hit a plateau when you're trying to build a body that you want. And sometimes looking back a few days, looking back a week is not going to be enough to help you carry yourself with motivation. If you can zoom out and you can look at what you did last year and you see that there's a significant amount of improvement, then that will give you the mental fortitude to keep going on. When it comes to your diet, this is extremely important as well, because there's so many times when I wanted to get more shredded and lose weight, but I lose the discipline to actually stick to it. You see, it's not discipline that's the problem. It's just head noise. It's just your emotional response to the hungers that you're having. Now, if I were to tell you that you can't eat for the next 3 days, you're not going to die. You're not going to suffer long-term health problems, all right? The reason why you're feeling hungry right now is because you're a little bitch. You just need to stop the noise because your body is asking for something that goes against the direction that you want to head to, which is being a shredded, lean, aesthetic dude. Journaling helps you put yourself in control again. You acknowledge that hunger that you have, or that pain that you have. You physically manifest it, and in time, it'll just go away. A really common form of journaling that people also use is something like a calorie tracking app, MyFitnessPal. Now, whenever I track my calories to make sure I'm in a caloric deficit to lose weight or to potentially gain weight, I will log my meals on that day. I eat consistently, and I eat consistently because it just makes tracking way easier, right? Instead of you coming up with a whole new concoction of foods to eat, just eat something that you really, really like, and then the next day, if you have all the ingredients inside the fridge, just make the exact same thing and just save yourself the hassle of inputting different numbers and food items into your app. So when you're journaling and you realize that the next day is going to be something that's completely different, like you've got a work meeting or you've got a sports event or you're going on a big hike, then you can pre-plan what to do for that next day. Take specific actions towards it to prevent a complete outbreak, right? If you weren't journaling, if you weren't tracking your life in some way, some form, then you're going to be the person that's complaining about why You can't do this, you can't do that while your routine is breaking because you don't have countermeasures. Physically writing down parts of your life is going to help you plan ahead. It's going to help you eliminate that head noise so you can make proper decisions. And it's going to remove emotion out of the equation so you can actually think clearly and move ahead. So this is exactly how I stopped the all or nothing punishment cycle when it came to my diet. I just track the things that actually impacts my workout and performance. This is meal timing, energy, hunger, and repeatable meals. I put it all into my Weaponised Nutrition Food Journal, so you can literally copy my template and make it your own. Links in the description. Stage 6 is the comeback. So you've put everything into practice, you've had your wake up call, you designed your life, you follow the routine, everything seems really automatic, you've done your training, and now you're starting to see results. You can start to see your abs popping out. You're getting awesome skills like the muscle up, the handstand push-ups. People are coming up to you in the gym calling you big. At least that's what I felt when I first achieved my goals. And this is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with progress. It's why we do what we do. And at these times, you just got to congratulate yourself. Like go on Instagram, do that 6-month transformation post, do that 1 year, 2 year, whatever. Get some dopamine out of this because you're meant to enjoy it. It's going to last a really, really short time, but you're going to want to enjoy this. Now, if I was going to describe this whole process, I would say that the comeback is that middle point in your journey. In order to get to the point of no return, you have to do something called a public declaration. Now, what is that? Basically, it's just letting people in your life know that you are this person who has done this, and that's just what's up from now on. You have to do this for 2 different reasons. One is that there's no turning back. So if you turn back, you'll be held accountable for that, and your own image will be put to shame if you decide to go back to your old ways. And the second thing is that this is a never-ending journey. Like, you don't just get results and then you go back to where you were before. No, the whole journey is the process in trying to achieve the results, not actually arriving at that destination. So don't be disappointed that you aren't at that perfect place, because that's fine. You just have to keep moving forward. Now this part is where it gets fun. Stage 7 is Conquest. Now you've got the skills, now you've got the physique, you've got the results. People have been following your journey and you're starting to get a little bit of attention. You want to start mogging people. You want to start going out to places and showing everyone how cool you are. Post that picture of your V-taper on Instagram. Go to Tokyo, hit a handstand, join a group, find like-minded people, compete against other people. If you want to do bodybuilding, do bodybuilding. If you want to do calisthenics, do a calisthenics competition. This is essentially what I did to take my life to the next level, because building yourself is only just a start. There's so much more that life can offer when you do all of this in multiplayer. My first 4 years of improving myself, training, I knew absolutely no one. And then I got invited to a meetup and I met people that were exactly like me and even better. Not only did that make me want to improve myself even more because there was competition, but I formed friendships and I found communities that I'm proud to be a part of. Showing off your skills also builds confidence, because unless you're in an environment where you can be in front of other people, then it's just a really lonely journey. And if you don't want to do this alone, join our free Discord. We hop on live calls. There are forums where you can ask questions, and you'll be surrounded by guys pushing through the same struggles as you. And while you're there, grab my ebook. Most coaches charge a fortune for this kind of information, but I've packed 103 pages of pure value into it, and I'm giving it away for free to the first 1,000 downloads. There are about 340 copies left before it goes up to $200, so check it out in the link below. So stage 8, this is truly the point of no return. If you've already publicly declared that you are that guy, then this identity shift is what's going to really put the nail in the coffin. It's no longer a question of if you are disciplined and if you are motivated. It's now a matter of, are you going to stay loyal to who you are? When I was 16 years old and I transformed from being a skinny, weak teen with no confidence to being an aesthetic athlete with a lean build, being able to do cool skills, I had to have had an identity shift. I demonstrated that through Instagram. So now, if I was to gain weight, or if I was to lose all my skills, I have to get back to where I was before, because I would feel a crisis in identity rather than just casually losing discipline. And look, that actually happened to me. After one of my competitions, I gained a lot of weight, I lost my skills. And so this whole journey is just never ending. It just always goes on and on and on. You're going to have multiple comebacks in your life, but if you can always just hang on to that version of yourself that you want to become, and you really, really want to get there, then everything else will just follow. These were the 8 stages of your greatest comeback. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your comeback won't be built on luck or waiting for the perfect moment. It starts the second you decide to take control. So don't leave this video and go back to scrolling. Do one thing today that your future self will thank you for. If you want to work with me, the link's in the description for a quick call. Take the first step and let's start building your comeback right now.